in pop, I don't think.
U2 recently appeared in Helsinki, and
Oh, wow.
I would like a small comment. What do you think about U2 right now?
A certain period of their career that I really like Joshua Tree, Unforgettable Fire, things like that. They've got some amazing songs, and also they had obviously the signature guitar sound, which is like every band is always in search of a trademark, and they found their trademark. So I don't know. I'm not sure about.
I agree. I agree. I think that for me there was a golden period, but I think I've never really. The newer stuff's never really connected with me. I think like a lot of bands, they have a golden time which will live forever. Like a band like Oasis had it. They had an amazing period that will carry them for the rest of their lives, and I think that's the nature of music. You can't. Everybody has a golden period, I think.
I think interestingly enough, the album The Joshua Tree is there's a simplicity and there's a lot of space in it, and I think that's, although it didn't influence us directly, it's something that we admire about it. It's a very incredibly atmospheric and spacious album with a lot of focus on the vocal, and that's what we tried to do, really. So perhaps there are similarities.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next question. Your own idols when you were young. What inspired you? What kind of music? Which artists?
When I was growing up, it was a funny mix, really, because when I was a kid, it was Michael Jackson. So much. I was obsessed. He was my first person I was obsessed with when I was really young, and even still to this day, I think I don't think he's like on par with anyone. And then I changed quite quickly. I think one person that had a big effect on me was Eminem when I was a kid, because I lived in a town with 100 people in it, a very small place, and my mind was very narrow, and he opened it up wide. And then when I got to about 18, the Strokes and the Libertines they were probably the most important, because they made me want to make music, and they made me want to be in a band. And then after I discovered those, you start to go back and you discover people like the Smiths and The Cure, and it all opens up. And there's lots of bands, I think, but it's all about the journey between them.
Yeah.
I think the first three Radiohead albums made me want to make music, made me want to play guitar, made me want to write emotional music. And then obviously bands like Depeche Mode later on, Tears for Fears, very inspirational British bands. And also I like things like Rihanna and American pop music, and I like movie soundtracks.
Finally, I have 4 questions from your fans.
Wow.
4 questions.
The final 4. And the first one really is, one person asked me if you have any plans on doing Eurovision Song Contest.
Good question. We'd love to. Be a dream come true.
One day we will. We'll undoubtedly one day be involved in the Eurovision Song Contest.
We always said the first country that gave us a #1, we try and enter for them. We try and write them a song. And also, maybe we wouldn't enter, but maybe it's more important that a country gets somebody who represents their country well. And I wouldn't do it for England, because England don't care about it enough.
And then about the hit single, what's a bridge across the Severn?
The Severn is a river in England called the Severn, and the Severn Bridge runs between England and Wales, Bristol and Cardiff, and it's a huge bridge, and this River Severn is massive. It's like it's the biggest river in England, and it's I've got a picture of it.
Oh.
That's the bridge across the Severn.
That's a bridge. That's a real bridge.
The bridge across the Severn. Yeah. So the Severn's a river.
Then maybe a different question. What's your favorite food, and what do you completely dislike?
My favourite food is the full English breakfast. I also like a buffet.
I completely dislike goat's cheese. It's the only food. I like every other food known to man, but I hate goat's cheese with a passion. Unfortunately, sorry goats. I'm sorry, but I don't like your cheese.
That's a good answer. And then the last one. Do you prefer bigger venues to smaller ones? I hear you've been playing in a church also. Really? What do you think? Of course, everyone's different in every place.
Every venue's got its own charm, really. I suppose your songs sound different in certain venues. In a church, it's very, the grandeur comes out, and it's very epic, and it's perfectly suited to that, and the songs are kind of tailored for that. But then you go to a kind of gritty nightclub in Germany, and the songs sound very different there as well. So it's always a challenge, but it's exciting to test your songs out in different venues.
Because they're both. The reactions are always different. In a big venue, it's very calm. Whereas in somewhere like tonight, for instance, because it's quite small, it's probably going to be quite intense. So.
I'm quite sure about that. I would like to thank you both for this interview for Chaos Tube.
No problem.
And on behalf of all of your fans in Finland, I hope you have a very good night and very good gig.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you.